The vast space station Nexus 9 hummed with activity, its massive circular structure hosting dozens of alien species from across the known galaxy. Bright holographic advertisements flickered along curved corridors, and strange languages blended into a constant background noise that felt both chaotic and oddly harmonious. Lieutenant J. Park sat alone at the corner of the Starlight Lounge, a dimly lit bar frequented by traders, diplomats, and travelers from countless worlds. His dark eyes scanned the room with practiced calm, a habit developed during years of military service. A half-empty glass of synthetic alcohol sat before him, its blue liquid swirling gently with the station's subtle gravitational movements. Around him, alien species mingled and conversed. Tall, crystalline beings with translucent bodies discussed trade routes near the bar. Compact reptilian merchants argued about cargo prices in a corner booth. Floating energy-based life forms drifted near the ceiling, their ethereal forms casting soft glows across the room. Jay wore a standard Earth Force uniform, dark gray with subtle blue trim, fitted precisely to his athletic build. A small communication device glinted on his wrist, its advanced technology looking almost primitive compared to the complex alien technology surrounding him. Two human traders sat nearby, speaking quietly about recent shipment routes. They seemed nervous, constantly looking over their shoulders. The alien traders around them spoke loudly, their translation devices converting their complex language into clear, somewhat mocking human speech. Humans, one crystalline being said to another, its voice carrying clearly across the bar. Still so primitive, barely space-worthy. How did they even get galactic travel permissions? Jay's cybernetic implant, hidden beneath his skin, recorded the conversation. His muscles remained relaxed, but his eyes betrayed a subtle tension. Years of military training had taught him to remain calm, to observe and analyze. The bar's atmosphere felt charged. Humans were still relatively new to the galactic community, viewed with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. Some alien species saw humans as potential trading partners, while others considered them unpredictable and dangerous. A server, a multi-limbed creature with iridescent skin, approached Jay's table. Its movements were fluid, almost dance-like. "Another drink, Earth representative?" it asked, its translator rendering the question in perfect emotionless English. "No, thank you," Jay responded, his voice deep and controlled. The crystalline beings continued their conversation, seemingly unaware or uncaring that the humans could hear their mocking comments. They discussed human limitations, biological weaknesses, and what they perceived as technological inferiority. One of the human traders, a woman with short, practical hair and a worn leather jacket, gripped her drink tighter. Her knuckles turned white, revealing her growing frustration. Jay noticed her reaction, understanding the delicate social dynamics at play. The station's ambient lighting shifted, mimicking the gentle progression of an artificial day. Soft blue tones gave way to warmer orange hues, signaling the transition to evening cycle. More travelers began filling the bar, creating a growing sense of potential conflict. Jay remained perfectly still, like a predator waiting. His military background had taught him that true strength wasn't about immediate action, but about calculated patience. Every movement, every breath was a potential strategy. The crystalline beings moved closer to the human traders, their translucent bodies casting strange shadows across the bar's metallic surfaces. Something was about to happen. The tension was palpable, electric. A single moment could change everything. The tension in the Starlight Lounge grew thicker with each passing moment. The crystalline aliens moved closer to the human traders, their angular bodies casting sharp shadows across the bar's metallic floor. Their translator devices continued to broadcast their conversation, a mix of condescension and open mockery. Jay Park watched carefully, his cybernetic implant recording every subtle movement. The human trader with the leather jacket, her name tag read Kim Soo-jin, gripped her drink tighter. Her companion, a stocky man with weathered hands, shifted uncomfortably in his seat. One of the crystalline beings, taller than the others, with more intricate crystal formations, deliberately moved closer. Its body refracted light in strange patterns, creating a mesmerizing yet threatening display. The alien's translator crackled to life, its words cutting through the bar's background noise. Humans, it said, the translation device rendering its complex language into crisp, mocking English. Still learning the basics of interstellar travel. Quite amusing, really. Sujin's companion tried to ignore the comment, but tension radiated from his body. The bar's ambient noise seemed to drop, creating a pocket of uncomfortable silence around their table. Suddenly, the lead crystalline alien made a deliberate move. With calculated precision, it knocked over a container of high acid, trading fluid directly onto Sujin's jacket. The liquid began to eat through the fabric immediately, releasing a sharp, burning smell that made nearby patrons recoil. The bar went silent. Sujin remained still, her eyes locked with the alien's translucent form. Her hand moved almost imperceptibly, touching a small communication device on her wrist. Jay noticed the movement, a subtle signal, a potential warning. The crystalline aliens laughed. Their sound was like breaking glass, sharp and cutting. They clearly believed their action would provoke no serious response. Humans were new to the galactic community after all. Diplomacy was their expected reaction. But something changed in the room's atmosphere. Jay Park's breathing became controlled. His muscles, previously relaxed, now held a potential energy. Years of military training had taught him to read situations, to understand the moment before violence erupts. The station's artificial lighting flickered momentarily, a small technical glitch that went unnoticed by most patrons. But for those trained to observe, it was a subtle signal of impending change. Sujin's companion slowly stood, his movements deliberate. He was larger than the crystalline aliens, more solid. Human bodies, evolved on a harsh planet, looked different from most galactic species. Compact, dense, powerful. The lead crystalline alien seemed to realize its mistake. Its body language changed, becoming more defensive. The other aliens around it also shifted, their crystal formations creating defensive patterns. But it was too late. Jay could see the sequence of events about to unfold. The human traders would not back down. The aliens had miscalculated their provocation. In the vast, complicated world of galactic interactions, some rules were universal, and some lines should never be crossed. The bar's temperature seemed to drop. Electronic devices around the room began to emit a low, almost imperceptible hum. Something was coming, and no one in the Starlight Lounge was prepared for what would happen next. Jay Park remained seated, but his entire body was now coiled like a spring. His eyes, dark and focused, tracked every movement. The cybernetic implant beneath his skin began processing potential scenarios at lightning speed. In the next few moments, everything would change. The galaxy was about to learn something about humans that it had never understood before. The moment stretched like a thin wire about to snap. Jay Park moved first, faster than anyone expected. His body became a blur of controlled motion, transforming from a seated observer to a weapon of pure human efficiency. The first crystalline alien never saw the attack coming. Jay's hand grabbed a nearby metal bar stool, swinging it with impossible speed and precision. The furniture became an extension of his body, striking the alien with such force that its crystalline structure shattered like delicate glass. Fragments of the alien's body scattered across the floor, creating a dangerous mosaic of sharp crystal pieces. The other aliens reacted, their defensive energy shields flickering to life. But humans had spent millennia evolving on a planet that demanded survival, and they had learned to adapt faster than any technology could respond. Sujin moved simultaneously, her training evident in every motion. She grabbed a nearby drink container, using it as an improvised weapon. The bar transformed from a peaceful gathering space to a battlefield in seconds. The station's security systems struggled to process the sudden violence. Automated defense protocols flickered uncertainly. This wasn't a standard conflict. This was something entirely different. Jay's movements defied alien understanding. He used the environment as a weapon. Bar furniture became projectiles, tables became shields, every object a potential tool of destruction. The crystalline aliens tried to activate their advanced defensive technologies, but human unpredictability overwhelmed their systems. Another alien flew across the room, its body crashing into a reinforced wall. The impact created a sound like breaking crystal and bending metal. Nearby patrons scrambled, their various survival instincts kicking in at different speeds. The human traders fought with a coordination that suggested deep training. They moved as a single unit, covering each other's movements, anticipating threats before they fully materialized. Their fighting style was nothing like the structured combat of other galactic species. It was raw, adaptive, brutal. Jay grabbed a large metal container, using it to block energy attacks from the remaining crystalline aliens. His movements were calculated, each action serving multiple purposes. Defense became offense in a heartbeat. The container became a shield, then a weapon, then a throwing implement, all within seconds. The bar's advanced environmental systems tried to intervene. Neutralization fields activated, attempting to stop the conflict. But human adaptability proved faster. Jay and Sujin worked around the systems, using them as additional tactical resources. Blood and crystal fragments mixed on the floor. The smell of burnt metal and alien biochemistry filled the air. What had started as a simple provocation had become a demonstration of human capability that would be remembered throughout the galaxy. 3 more aliens fell, their advanced defensive technologies useless against human creativity and speed. They had underestimated the species that had evolved on a planet where survival meant constant adaptation. Sujin broke an alien's energy shield generator with a kick, her leg moving faster than the device's protective systems could respond. Jay used a broken bar mechanism as a makeshift weapon, striking with precision that suggested decades of combat training. The entire fight lasted less than 2 minutes. When it ended, only the humans remained standing. The floor was covered with crystal fragments, broken technology, and evidence of a conflict that defied galactic understanding. Jay's breathing remained controlled. Sujin checked her damaged jacket, more annoyed by the acid burn than the recent violence. Around them, the bar was completely destroyed, a testament to their effectiveness. Station security would arrive soon. Recordings would be analyzed. Reports would be filed. But in that moment, only one thing was clear. Humans were not just another species in the galactic community. They were something else entirely. Station security arrived with a burst of blue light, their advanced scanning equipment immediately mapping the destruction. Commander Park Yoonji, a veteran of numerous interspecies conflict resolution teams, surveyed the scene with a critical eye. Jay and Sujin stood exactly where they had finished fighting, surrounded by fragments of shattered crystalline bodies and destroyed bar equipment. They looked remarkably calm, as if they had just completed a routine maintenance task instead of dismantling 6 advanced alien warriors. The security team's initial scans were confusing. Human medical readings showed 0 significant injuries. The combat logs from multiple surveillance systems told an impossible story. 2 humans had neutralized 6 highly advanced alien warriors in less than 2 minutes. "Explain," Commander Park demanded, her voice sharp and professional. Jay simply pointed to the damaged jacket where the acid had been spilled. No further explanation seemed necessary. The surveillance recordings would tell the complete story. Station medical teams began collecting alien remains. Their careful movements betrayed a newfound respect and fear. The crystalline species were known for their defensive capabilities, their energy shields considered nearly impenetrable by most galactic standards. Yet here they were, shattered, destroyed. By humans, forensic analysts worked quickly, their advanced tools capturing every microscopic detail of the conflict. Each scan revealed something more surprising than the last. The humans had used the environment as a weapon, turning ordinary objects into instruments of destruction with terrifying efficiency. Sujin's communication device began receiving multiple encrypted messages. Her slight smile suggested these were not disciplinary communications, but perhaps congratulatory ones. The station's central computer began compiling a comprehensive report. Words like extraordinary combat efficiency and unprecedented biological response populated the initial analysis. Somewhere in the vast network of galactic communication systems, this incident would soon become a topic of intense discussion. Medical scans of Jay and Sujin revealed something even more interesting. Their bodies showed enhanced muscle density, rapid healing capabilities, and neural response times that exceeded standard human baseline. They weren't just trained fighters. They were products of human evolutionary adaptation. Commander Park reviewed the surveillance footage repeatedly. Each viewing revealed new layers of tactical complexity. The humans hadn't just fought, they had systematically dismantled their opponents with surgical precision. Alien diplomats who had been nearby began making urgent communication requests. The incident would require immediate diplomatic intervention, but the initial reports were clear. The humans had acted in self-defense after repeated provocation. The bar's owner, a multi-limbed creature from a peaceful trading species, looked simultaneously terrified and impressed. His establishment had been completely destroyed, but he seemed more fascinated by the humans' capabilities than angry about the property damage. Station communication networks began buzzing. The story would spread faster than light itself, carrying a simple message: humans were not to be underestimated. Jay and Sujin remained silent through the initial investigation. Their calm was itself a form of communication, a clear message that this was nothing unusual for them. Just another day in the life of humans navigating the complex galactic landscape. As medical teams completed their initial assessments, one thing became crystal clear. The galaxy had just received a stark reminder of humanity's potential. They were not just another species seeking a place among the stars, they were something else entirely. Predators, survivors, warriors. The crystalline species would not soon forget this lesson. The incident on Nexus 9 spread across galactic communication networks with unprecedented speed. What had seemed like a simple bar fight became something much larger, a moment of collective realization about humanity's true nature. Xenobiological research centers across multiple star systems began intense analysis. Humans, they discovered, were not just another species. They were the product of an impossibly harsh evolutionary process, born on a planet that demanded constant survival. Earth's history told a brutal story. Every species that had evolved there had done so through ruthless natural selection. Weakness meant death. Adaptation meant survival. Humans were the ultimate product of this unforgiving environment. Alien academic councils reviewed centuries of human historical data. They discovered a species that had survived ice ages, global disasters, constant predatory threats, and their own internal conflicts. Each challenge had only made humans stronger, more adaptable, more dangerous. The crystalline species, once considered diplomatic elite, became a cautionary tale. Their technological advantages meant nothing against human creativity and physical capability. Reports circulated showing how 2 humans had destroyed 6 advanced warriors using nothing but bar furniture and raw skill. Diplomatic channels became filled with urgent discussions. Some alien races proposed immediate restrictions on human space travel. Others suggested diplomatic isolation. A few more pragmatic groups recommended careful engagement and mutual understanding. Military strategists across different star systems began comprehensive studies of human combat techniques. Their reports highlighted something terrifying. Humans viewed conflict as a problem-solving tool, not just a last resort. They were innovative, unpredictable, and ruthlessly efficient. The genetic research was even more shocking. Human bodies contained multiple evolutionary adaptations that made them supreme survivors. Higher pain tolerance, faster healing, complex problem-solving abilities, extreme physical endurance. On Earth, life had always been about one simple rule: adapt or die. Humans had not just adapted, they had become masters of adaptation. Galactic trade networks began reassessing human involvement. Countries and corporations that had previously seen humans as potential junior partners now viewed them with a mixture of respect and fear. Communication logs showed increasing caution when dealing with human representatives. Diplomatic language became more careful, more measured. The casual mockery that had been common before the Nexus 9 incident disappeared completely. Jay Park and Sujin became unintentional symbols. Their calm response to the conflict, their complete lack of concern about destroying 6 advanced warriors spoke volumes about human psychology. They were not seeking conflict, but they would not avoid it either. Research teams discovered that humans had evolved on a planet where nearly everything was trying to kill them. Predators, environmental challenges, microscopic organisms, geological instability. Each generation had survived by being stronger, smarter, more adaptable than the last. The galaxy realized something fundamental. Humans were not just another species seeking a place among the stars. They were apex predators, survivors, a species that viewed challenges as opportunities for growth. Alien military academies began studying human combat psychology. Their unpredictability was their greatest weapon. Traditional conflict models became useless when applied to human tactics. The incident on Nexus 9 became more than a simple bar fight. It was a moment of galactic education, a reminder that in the vast, complex universe, humanity represented something unique and potentially dangerous. They were not conquerors. They were survivors. And in the cold, unforgiving landscape of space, survival was everything.